I'm here with Kara Destiny from Pass International, and we're here today talking about cybersecurity for the solopreneur and small business. So, Kara, tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Okay, thank you for having me here. We're an international business practice consulting firm. We sprung up from me being a lawyer, specializing in international trade and business practice. That simply means companies that are either trading across borders or trading with other cultures. And we also train leaders and their managers on how to transfer those sort of terms within the contract in the way that they manage their businesses too.
Wow. Yeah. And it sounds like you're on the go an awful lot.
Yes, it requires traveling as well, and it requires also being able to pass on some of the information and data to account managers. So they take the data and go to those companies to coach, to teach and advise. So a lot of information does cross a lot of hands.
Gotcha. And so as a small business, and really regardless of your size and the complexity, there are 5 basic areas that you can start with to really make a difference in cybersecurity. Desktop security, network security, mobile device security, password security, and finally two-factor authentication.
So where do I start and working my way through it?
Well, really, the easiest place to start would be desktop security. It's really kind of where the rubber meets the road for you. You sit down with a computer every single day, and what you can do to really start securing that computer is to make sure that you're running your updates on a regular basis, and that you have antivirus and anti-malware that's actually set to run regularly. So, as an international business, you're really moving all over the place. You're not necessarily tied down to a single office, right?
Yes, sometimes.
Okay, and so when you're doing that, you're bringing your laptop home with you. So what you would want to do in that instance, if you are using a personal computer, is you want to set up kind of a unique username and password and account for you and you alone. That'll provide you a little bit of cover and a little bit of segregation from the rest of the family who might be using that. So anywhere that you can to kind of cordon off your business use and to make it kind of a segregated business environment will really be helpful. And as you're moving all those things around too, you need to be thinking about your mobile devices. And so, I mean, you talk to me a little bit about your password construction. Are you using complex pins, or what are you using to secure those mobile devices?
Well, more and more there's a need to use more complex pins, and so we do sometimes take options that are offered, like when you're linking up to a client or a supplier, that the sites give you complex pins ideas, and sometimes some sites reject simple pins. So I don't know how best to to improve on that, but surely I'm open to know how to construct them even better.
Well, what I would recommend to you is definitely, as you're working on those pins and passwords for your mobile devices, wherever you can make them more complex, you want to do that. So those larger partners that you're working with, maybe it's a bank or somebody else who says, hey, we require you to have a 10-digit password, or 10-character password that has numbers, letters, symbols. Really take that complexity and try to move it into your sort of everyday life.
So what is a password manager?
So what a password manager is an app or a piece of software, and usually they're unified across all your systems, that it's either free or a small paid subscription, where you can set individual passwords in a vault for every single website that you go to. They're all different, and they're protected by one single master password. We see a lot of people moving in that direction because it's so hard to remember every single password that you have and to keep them all different. So what really becomes important is just making sure that single master password is secure. You need to make that as long and as complex as you can possibly remember it, because if you set that weakly, you're really just kind of giving away everything else that's stored underneath it. And what we would add on to that is what you're oftentimes seeing now is really the increase in the use of two-factor authentication for most people. Two-factor is really, you're going to type in a password into any website, and you'll get a 6-digit code. It can show up either by means of a little key fob, like an RSA token or something, or an app on your phone can do it as well.
Yes.
And so we see a lot of banks are starting to use this, but it's also getting a lot easier for small businesses to use it. So if you use anything like a Google Apps or Gmail or Office 365, these all have two-factor authentication capability built into them. And what it really affords you is an extra layer of security. If anybody gets that password that you have, they're going to log in, And if they don't have your phone
Phone.
or that little fob,
Have it.
they won't be able to get in.
Exactly.
It'll also alert you to the fact that somebody does know your password because you're going to start getting an alert on your phone,
Texts, yeah.
right? So it's a good kind of stopgap measure. And there are really a lot of other things that you can do to protect your network, but I mean that's really a good starting point. And what I would really emphasize is that almost all of those points that we covered today can be implemented either for free or for very low cost. It just requires a little bit of diligence and just a little bit of time on the part of your business or really any small business. So I hope that was helpful for you today, and I'm hopeful that you can secure your business a little bit more now.
Yes, thank you very much. It definitely was useful.
Thank you.
Ja, you're welcome.